struggling, right? I think AD is the one specific role where if your team's not doing well, you don't really get an opportunity to play the game.
Yeah. Well, we are kicking off draft number 1. WE on that blue side going to ban away the Callista, the Akali, and the Corki. An interesting addition in that one. No Ashe ban just yet. It is the Cassante and the Skarner banned already by AL. No Scorpion lovers here. It is also the Nocturne ban, finally.
Yeah, so what are we getting then? Ashe, Rumble, Vi,
Rumble, absolutely.
available. There's the Rumble. It does make that rail priority on the opposite side also kind of rise a little bit, but for AL, they're going to lock in the Jace immediately. No question.
No more tank? No more. Are we still going to get the tank build? He's got another build.
I feel like what's
AP Jace has come out now. Riftmaker.
I feel like what's been quite funny is we've actually seen kind of over from the LCK. Actually, they were doing it originally. I feel they weren't going full tank Jace. They started to immediately adapt and kind of go the bruise items, right? So they were going Shojin maybe into full tank, and then slowly over time it feels like it's evolved from that into Shojin, Muramana, Black Cleaver, and between Shojin and Black Cleaver, and then all the health that you can stack up from Grasp when you don't get lane swapped on, you end up having like 3,500 HP, right, by the time you hit 3 items. So that with the tank stats that you do get from the hammer form, it kind of all evens out in the end. That said, WE immediately answered with the Ezreal to try and match range against the Varus in the laning phase. Varus tend to still go or see more poke Varus than on hit, but we'll see whether or not Hope decides to pivot off of that trend. Vampire's going to take up the Leona, and then we spoke about the Rel as a probable priority of WE. It wasn't snapped up, so AL are going to take that one.
Some big picks off the board in this fearless best of 5. Remember, anything that's picked is no longer available for the rest of the series. We're in the second phase. Very heavy focus towards Monkey and his comfort picks of the Vi and the Wukong. On the other side, the Sylas that has been working so well for anyone's legend, but also see if they want to continue that mid lane focus.
Yeah, I wonder if it will be double mid bans towards Shanks. And it seems to be...
It is?
A big fat resounding yes. As now Tarzan, what will you pick, right? The Wukong, the Vi, Nocturne, Skarner, a lot of jungle bans. Tarzan's hovering through some pretty fun options, but I do imagine that the Xin Zhao is the one that ends up coming through here. Probably the strongest available skirmisher, still up and available in the main premier pool of junglers. So
and
see that one go through. This. You would not only love it, but now it kind of makes you wonder, what will Monkey pick, right? Are we going to get something equally as aggressive, perhaps from slightly deeper down in the pool? Something like an immediate lease in, or I was going to bring it up, but I wasn't sure because it's not something that people always pick directly into the Xin Zhao, but Jax is obviously such a good answer because of the Counter-Strike that, yeah, we're going to see this one be answered out by Monkey immediately alongside that Azir. So Jungle Jax, not something we see frequently, but we'll talk about it once we're in game. And for Shanks, the Victor is up and available if he wants it. The Aurora is up. There are plenty of options up.
Yeah, there's so many options available.
If Shanks wants it, despite those bans even.
I love this gauntlet thrown down immediately, though. I know we really wanted to talk about Shanks a lot, the kind of holdovers of Shanks and Hope on Team WE all those years ago, but my premier matchup is always my GOAT Tarzan versus any new blood that's going to be going against him. And this is a guy who's ruthless in the jungle. He will absolutely take control of the jungle and wrestle it away from you. The fact that Monkey has come out with his own kind of style of pick into this and traditionally should go pretty well for him, I want to see them go head to head.
Yeah, so do I. And I mean, honestly, Jax as a jungler is weirdly strong just because of the nature of his skirmishing, and some people value his team fighting quite highly, and you know the Counter-Strike pressure is very high, but you need to have engage in different places, and they definitely do. Between the Leona and between the Rumble, they've got a lot of non-committal engage that they can certainly pounce on. So I'm excited for Monkey, not only in the early game, but later on in the team fights. The early game is, though, where the bread and butter is made with Jax, especially when you pick it into Xin Zhao. You are looking to answer him directly. You are looking for skirmishes. Yeah. And not only that, the Counter-Strike is a great dive tool too, right? If you have any other bit of CC, it is fantastic for diving. So if we end up in a lane swap scenario, maybe, just maybe, W have some options to get the gauntlet rolling for themselves in an early game.
Might just be. It is the kickoff of the final week of the group stage. It is the final time that we're going to be seeing in this group stage anyone's legend and Team WE. Very, very differing stories, very differing expectations coming into this game. One team the bottom of the barrel, trying to figure out what is going to work in spring in the next split around. The other team looking to keep tabs and keep toes with BLG, one of the top teams in the LPL. They've only lost one game, and AL are not trying to change that anytime soon as we head into game 1 in the home arena of WE in Xi'an.
I'm unsure if on our end we're going to get game audio. I'm hoping that picture-in-picture means that live is hearing the gyos.
I see mouths moving.
I see mouths moving, and I'm getting confirmation from our producers that they are happening. So I hope they were good. is my response. AL looking to poke a prod, something you very often see when you've got a LeBlanc. Very easy to distort forward and get a ward down where you want it, and they do have that ward on with the red buff for the time being. So a little bit of information gained on where Monkey will potentially start or end up after a camp or two as Jack Jungle. Something we don't get to see super frequently this year. I want to say
lethal tempo too.
Last year. Yeah, lethal tempo as well. Very interesting. So no Conqueror.
Karis just wins the lane. Easy.
No problem. Karis is going to... Well, see, the problem is Karis now, there's no XP anymore from wards, man. They killed it, which was always a very sad change. But imagine level 2 on the first wave.
No, he just wins for the mental victory.
Just the mental victory.
That was Shanks' his ward, you know.
Ah, I see. True.
Do you have any expectations with this jungle matchup here? I mean, we are getting the kind of same side stars from both of them. Do we see them kind of being okay with a first full clear? Do we see them trying to get active at that level 3 mark?
No, I think they're both pretty happy with a full clear here. Especially Jax. Jax wants Taeyoon.
Okay. He's going to take a heavy trade there. You have to be very
Kael.
careful of the early damage of the Varus with the Arcane Comet.
Yeah, I love that from Kael as well. Just drops the Ignite on the back end of the trade, just purely for the damage. They were not going to find lethal there. But I think more so Monkey than Tarzan. Monkey on this Jax. Jax wants to hit Triforce pretty much ASAP. It's much like lane Jax for the skirmishing pressure and power. But Tarzan, I mean, if he wanted to, he could come off of his clear, right? He could do these wolves and sprint directly down to bottom. And I mean, look at the wave and look at the lane state right now.
Yeah, this is
Taeyoon
tough.
does get the recall off though, but it will suck. He's gonna miss a lot of this XP.
Yeah, I mean, all these situations are always so finicky. Trying to figure out when the best moment to push, like keep the XP in the conversation constantly, as it is a situation where you're always trying to figure out what the best approach to these lane swaps and things can be.
Always a difficult task, and I mean, Taeyoon did pick this, Ezra will remind you, into the Varus. It was the champion of choice for the matchup, but so far just lost out on that level 1 priority, despite even getting that ward cleared out as well in the lane. Simply meant that Hope and Kael managed to push out, and that's what we're seeing result in the lead as Monkey is looking for that bottom side skull, and he's going to get it. As Tarzan did decide to yield it. Now is that wave stacking on the bottom side, so Tarzan just elects to hand that one over and let the handshake happen.
That being said, we'll get the finality of the clear of both junglers at least, and looks like the call for them to just have a full clear and do nothing is going to be the one. So both skulls do go down. We end up getting TPs back to lane by Cube. I'm sure followed sweetly. But next conversation becomes, do we actually see activity around the first objectives? Dragon coming up in about 40 seconds. Another full clear looking like on the docket for both junglers.
Yeah, top to bot. So junglers will definitely be around the bottom side when that dragon spawns. So bottom lane priority becomes a very big important thing, but also mid lane, right? First move when you've got LeBlanc Azir. And Shanks will be basing second, so this is going to be a situation where if they were going to go both to Dragon, then Shanks might end up being second. However, Monkey, seeing this wave kind of soft pushing in, does decide to very temporarily veer off to the top side and keep his eyes on Flandre. He's going to go back to his clear now. Would put him behind. We'll see where Tarzan decides to go, and it seems like the answer will be continuing his full clear. on the opposite side.
You know, Jamada.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool that Disney decided to get involved with LPL. I think it's really cool that we have like Tarzan 2 coming out here pretty soon, and they're live filming on the LPL regular season here.
Yeah, it's
Phil Collins is already cooking up another banger in the music room.
You know, it's a collab you're not expecting to get, but it's one that you're happy to see. You know, it's like, wow, all right, well, not why I have
now
my
that
bingo
we've made
card,
now that we've made all the viewers leave, let's talk about real LPL stuff now. We are going to see a little bit of movement, though, as grubs are going to be coming up. Always a very big, important fight. A lot of movement around the map for it. Usually, Karis in some trouble in mid lane. Does have that level 6, though, with the Shrima Shuffle at hand.
Yeah, chains just fly wide. Monkey here and waiting. Tarzan's checking in. Doesn't want to commit with the leap strike.
Ooh, little sidestep.
Well,
Okay,
does
Monkey.
now.
He's actually finding a lot of good trades there, but we're about to get even further of a kickoff of a fight. Equalizer just got used. Zenith Blade is going to go through. They try to get him. Tarzan goes with the flash. The Emperor's Divide goes wide. Oh, that feels so awful. As Kael now on the wrong side of the fight, all by himself. Going to try to get the crash down over the wall there. Cube is on his way as well. WE front and center.
Kael might even be allowed to recall here. Vampire's taking a sweet time about checking. No, Kyle's gonna have to execute, I think. Maybe he can just walk down. No. Kyle might do the long con. I think he's out.
On his metal horse, he rides into the sunset.
Wow. I mean, fair play, Kyle. W are gonna get all 3 grubs though. Tarzan, despite trying to get the rundown on Monkey after Monkey was the initial aggressor in that trade, gets chunked out a little bit too heavily and does allow for WE to get all 3 grubs there. So for those who very eagerly track the feats of strength in the early game, W will get 1 marker down on the objectives early on.
At least getting a little bit of something. Those feats of strength have been hotly contested in a lot of our series, but honestly haven't been the make or break moments in any of them, to be exact, as we get a lot of trading from Hope on a Taeyoon. And with the kind of poke build oriented for Hope, it's going to be trying to counteract some of what Taeyoon can bring.
Yeah, gonna try it. Definitely gonna try it. I feel like the feats of strength, just whilst we're on that topic for a second, I still feel like they're a little bit bait, you know? I don't think that the boots are worth buying. You know, I just don't.
No?
No, not until...
I think some of them are worth buying.
I mean, like, Swifties are worth it, right? I think everyone agrees movement speed is really strong. I think in situations
I think the AD
where...
ones are worth it, or the Zerker's Greaves.
Like, to me, I think you only buy them... There's 2 circumstances pretty much where you buy them, right? It's before a fight when you don't have gold to put into any other stats, right? And even then, chances are, it's probably going to be more worth to put your gold into raw stats, 9 times out of 10. Or it's quite literally your full build. Those are the only 2 circumstances where it's fine. No hard engage here, but
ooh, Chains of Corruption. That's a little bit of a hard engage. A lot of damage from that percent health damage. True Shot Barrage going to go on to 2 members, but Vampire is already down at first blood. Goes over to AL.
That was a lot of damage. That was through, at the very least, Aftershock. I don't know if Vampire also had his W up, but nonetheless, Varus very easily cutting through that health bar, and first blood is secured by Hope, so that's going to get the ball rolling for him. He's up 500 gold, already having a very good lane, so that will just make things even rougher for the side of WE's bottom side.
Do you think Hope went and got like his favorite food while he was on WE while he's here in Xi'an? Do you think that maybe is buffing him? I mean, that's a pretty strong start. 30 CS up almost.
Perhaps.
Let's see what his eating schedule was. Cube in a little bit of trouble now. Magnet Storm going to come in from Kael, and Cube has to flash out. Does make it to safety, and also has some backup coming. Equalizer going to be used to thin the wave.
Yeah, thin out the wave. Awkward angle. Will still be able to secure the rest of that wave, however. So no bit. Okay, he got 1 out of 3 of those ranged creeps. Sorry,
Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
I got stun locked by by him missing the first minion.
I can't see.
But yeah, WE don't necessarily need to respond with 2 minion members directly to the top lane, just the top side of the map. AL, a successful play nonetheless, getting the flash out of cube, and maybe they can make a repeat play happen. Grubs is in 30 seconds, and they did get him to blow the equalizer, so it's not a bad trade. And when you look at the HUD, Kael's ultimate, I mean, it's going to maybe be another extra 20 seconds post the Grubs themselves respawning, as Karis eating a little bit of chunk trade here. And this is always going to be the rough part about this matchup, right? Trying to side lane against LeBlanc as the Azir. LeBlanc's so slippery. Very, very hard to keep soldiers directly on top of it.
Yeah.
And just in general, a very
that
hard
brings up a
time
little
as
bit
it
of the
has dealing
difference
with
in
that
comp.
mobility. Yeah.
I mean, oh, okay. A little sidestep from Taeyoon there. We've gotten some pretty neat sidesteps from WE so far. But the duality of the side laning pressure Shanks can bring for AL with a lot of the team fight pressure that WE are bringing to the table.
Yeah, I do agree. I feel like, comically though,
Monkey.
AL will not mind.
Oh, Hope almost... Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Hope just flashed to his doom. They had no idea Monkey was behind him, and WE is on the board. TP's coming in. Shanks going to get one right back for AL. There's Karis, and he's getting the big Emperor's Divide, but the Magnet Storm right back. AL are fighting him back, and Taeyoon slowly but surely going down. Shanks is on a roll. The superstar mid laner for anyone's legend will find a double kill.
Teleports up and makes all the difference there in that exchange. It starts pretty good for WE, honestly, right? I mean, they managed to find Hope because he flashes backwards on the engage and it's right into Monkey's weighing hands, but unfortunately for them, mid laner from AL able to get a bunch of damage, and they can't finish off Tarzan. More importantly,
that feels
healing ends
so
up
bad.
coming through, and it just feels horrible, but as they're the first ones to die, they are also kind of the first ones to make their way back to the
Hope.
Grubs.
I bet they're gonna slow-mo. Oh, I thought they were gonna give the slow-mo directed cam replay.
Honestly, knowing the obs, I'm surprised they didn't. But let's get a look at Tarzan here, because I felt like they all hop on top of him.
He just goes right back across.
Back over the wall.
Yeah.
Triumph
And he gets
as well.
so much healing.
Plus there's just a lot of layers of healing there, right? Between Triumph and the passive. So much comes through. Seems like whilst he was in that replay, AL were able to get 2 Grubs. And are we fighting for the love of the game? I think we are.
I mean, Tarzan has Sundered Sky here. He gets so much healing. Monkey has used his Counter-Strike, so no longer going to have that. Piercing Arrow, and it's Flandre that gets the flash play. You might have taken away his tank Jace, but you can't take away his carry, as Flandre has come online, and so has AL.
Yep, so has AL. Really resounding skirmish win there. And I mean, this is kind of the point of the game where, you know, Xin Zhao, LeBlanc, Varus, so powerful. They won't hunt down Karis as he rotates over towards the mid lane. And WE are just not ready to fight. You know, their champions are not there yet. Triforce recently picked up. It was there for that fight, sure, but Karis isn't at an item. Taeyoon isn't at an item. This is not where you really want to be when on the opposite end you're looking at that full item over on Shanks and just the general champion strength Mazel. It's not necessarily a decision you want to commit to, but AL unfortunately forced to take up that fight.
I do like that WE are looking for things. Unfortunately, they have just found themselves at the bottom of the barrel yet again. Equalizer from the distance with the Counter-Strike play to get them away from that one. But it is nice to see that WE are being proactive. Even if there is a pretty hefty lead at 14 minutes for AL, they are not stopping looking for angles.
No, they are not. They are going to keep on looking, and I think they're going to have to, as the gold lead has grown out quite substantially. I mean, did mention and bring up very briefly earlier, you know, the difference in the team fighting composition against what is a lot closer to a kind of a side lane, or at the very least a small desire to play side lane, right? LeBlanc, not historically the best team fighter, though I kind of feel like some of the best clips we've ever seen out of players historically from LeBlancs have actually been in team fights. Their ability to navigate there.
Except for when AD LeBlanc became a thing and Xiaohu literally was 1v9ing entire games by his side lane LeBlanc.
You know, Mazel, I didn't have to remember that Shiv Triforce LeBlanc existed for like far too many patches. Well, thank you for bringing that nightmare back
You're
to my brain.
welcome.
I appreciate that.
Unfortunately, we got Xiaohu last night trying to take out his LeBlanc and his Lucian. Both didn't work out for him. So maybe nostalgia needs to stay where it was. All right.
Yeah, maybe it does. Maybe it does. Not the best LeBlanc angle I've seen last night's series.
There's that Shojin's.
Yeah, there's the Shojin. I mean, I'm pretty sure that is probably now the meta build.
Yeah, for sure.
Teams are still going to want to play Jace. The AD ratios got buffed. Whilst some of the other aspects that made tank Chase a little bit more annoying were brought.
Can't hold him down, man. Flandre is going to be his own independent top laner.
Yeah, he is. I mean, Flandre knows. I mean, Alaman, the bringers of doom when it comes to weird top lane picks. Tarzan is going to find Monkey.
This is just like the movie. I had to bring it back one time at least. Come on now, Monkey. He's going to make his way out. Oh, the flash from Shanks. Oh. He wants to get the kill. One more auto would do it, but he doesn't want to go under turret. He gets chased, and the leap strike gets him to safety. Did burn the control ward there, but it's far worth it.
Yeah, that is a Triforce magical boots moment from Monkey. That movement speed, man. The base movement speed. Enough to get him away from the LeBlanc. But the play still gets them that dragon, right? 2 dragons to the good of AL. It will be Chemtech Soul, though, so do with that information what you will. I will let you all form your opinions about Chemtech Soul and its strength. Though, it was buffed on this patch, right? It was one of the things that did get buffed, Chemtech Soul. A little bit stronger.
We've been getting so, like, literally last time, I'm pretty sure 3 out of the 5 dragons were souls were Chemtech. I'm not saying it's the new Cloud Soul, but maybe it is.
Nothing will
Atlas,
be
where you at?
No. Listen, Atlas. I was throwing a lot of weight around for the love of the Cloud Soul that year as well. Atlas, if you're out there, I love you, brother. You're awesome.
Feats, I love him too. He's a great guy. Feats have been achieved by anyone's legend. And honestly, if we're looking back at expectations that we were setting before this series, I think things are going right as we expected them to here. As full control, full map dominance at least, as Rift Herald started up by anyone's legend on the other side. There has been the 4 grubs taken by WE, but since then it has been a torrential downpour of pandas for anyone's legend.
Yep. Feels pretty damn good. The Herald is going to be dropped immediately. And run into the mid lane here. AO will guide that one. And they might even get very comfortably a second charge.
I'm going to try to get Cube here with the equalizer. Karis and Shanks going at it. Okay. Shanks in a lot of trouble up there against the attack speed that is the Azir. We're watching Hope go driving. He dodges out. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the turn radius to get the other side, and it ends.
He also didn't have the time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Timed out there at the end.
But hey, you got a free transport to the top lane. Is this public transport?
I have a joke, but I don't know if it's the right climate. Yeah, man. This is the public transport that the citizens of Summoner's Rift have been yearning for decades.
Dude, that makes me think one day in the far future, the future Summoner's Rift, will there be public transport? We're gonna have like.
I mean,
guess we have TP and Hexgate, yeah.
We've got the Hex gates, right? Like,
maybe I'm too late. Maybe things are moving too fast for me.
The free market has already done its thing, Mazel.
The developers of Summoner's Rift are just too good, man. I don't know what to say.
Dude, you want more public transport when we have Herald, Hexgates, and Chemtech
and teleport?
And teleport? Like,
man.
Come on.
LA Transit could never. Anyway.
No.
Hey, I don't get in trouble because I'm burning LA Transit. It's fine. I live in LA, so I get to talk about it.
I've heard it's a nightmare. And
it is pretty awful.
As a Londoner.
It also doesn't really exist.
Yeah, I was about to say, as a Londoner, that city sounds like my actual real-life purgatory, to be honest. Oh, all right. Hope swinging a miss.
Got the Atacon spawned. Let's go. Yeah. It's me in the top side of the map here. WE heftily positioning around this one. They just want to maybe start it up. You do have the Nashor's Tooth completed with the double to Trinity forces for Team WE. This Monkey actually tried to find an engage on Tarzan. And these are kind of the back and forth that we were talking about, the reason why you grab the Jax into the Xin Zhao. You can see Tarzan's a little bit worried to take those one-on-ones. Yeah,
just a touch. It's power of the Jax in the extended trades. Again, it's the reason why you pick the champ, right? And, you know, you brought up the items. I do want to highlight, like you mentioned, Taeyoon does have that Triforce. Has the components completed for the Mirror Mana, just needs the completion itself. And Karis, once he hits that second item, we already saw how much damage he can put out, right? When he was getting a little bit of an opportunity to free hit Shanks in that 1v1. There is the opportunity that, despite the lead that AL have, there will be a brief moment of item parity, right? Where AL haven't completed their second items, but WE just about get over the line for theirs. And just for that one fight, the gold lead matters a lot less, right? It's item completions that really change how those champions work. The components, a lot of the time, tend not to. Vampire, yeah. He's playing with fire here.
He is. It takes half his health from that piercing arrow. You got the TP coming in now. Monkey is going ham. He's getting helped a little bit, but gets the kill too onto Hope and gets a little bit of revenge.
Yeah. Screw you, Hope. That's what Monkey puts
That's
in all
for
chat.
WE.
That's for WE. Yeah. That's for betraying us.
We're just going to make this happen. This is the story now. There was some grand betrayal from WE. It definitely wasn't Hope just looking for another team. And now all this revenge, all this drama.
Look, right? You brought up the Disney movies, right? Monkey.
I did.
Tarzan.
Multiple times.
Maybe this is like a Scar Mufasa thing, right? Like, except in this version, obviously Monkey's alive. He didn't die to a herd of buffalo.
Dude, how did he get him?
Well, he just...
They're wildebeest, by the way.
Oh, is it wildebeest? My apologies.
Yeah, get it right.
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm going to... Well, I'm not show my age. I'm pretty sure that movie came out the same year I was born, I want to say. It might
nice.
Be a year or two before. So, forgive me for not remembering.
Yeah, I said how dare you. I said how dare you. Atacon did get started up briefly by AL. Do not think they're sticking around to do that one. There are some pings going towards the dragon. This is on vision as they see Monkey coming over, but it looks like AL are okay to give this one. Would be the first dragon for WE as well.
Yeah, will be. So no snowball in the soul department for AL, and no Atacon was picked up either. So yeah. We kind of just go back to a bit of a open map state for the time being, and W will get to scale up just a touch more. Cube is not far away from Zhonya, so this is what I was talking about just before we had that little skirmish breakout. Despite this 3.5k gold lead now, there's gonna be a small window where WE have 2 items, like completed items, just like AL do. Yes, AL will have the components, right? But the stats generally aren't like crazy big advantages this late into the game, you know? Yeah. So if they can get those completions through, they might feel a little bit confident to step forward and actually try and find a team fight.
Yeah.
I do wonder what they look like though. We've seen a lot of diving from Monkey. Between Azir and Ezreal, you kind of want a bit of a front to back. We'll see if the parts all come together and they get a fight that looks like a front to back.
And I really want to see Karis on 2-3 items on the Azir. I mean, we all know that Azir can do massive things in team fights once he gets those item thresholds. See if they can buy enough time to get to that point. There's a pretty hefty lead between the solo lanes there in that mid lane matchup. But some of the team fighting aspects that we talked about so long ago for Team WE are helping bolster them in this part of the game. Still waiting for AL to be a little bit more proactive with the lead that they have, or just wait for Vampire to walk into a warded portion of the bush and take some damage from Shanks and Tarzan. This might be a little bit of a bait, though, as they are hovering over towards Atacon.
Good amount of discipline there, not to fully commit onto Vampire. Just understanding that there is always the potential that WE could rotate a little bit faster than they're expecting, right? So good to not overcommit as Baron Nashor. Big purple worm.
25 minutes.
25 minutes. Still, it's still
Still
takes
so
some time
weird.
to get. Yeah, you know.
Also, because nobody does add a con, so like
Sometimes,
a
yeah.
lot of times you just have like both big objectives right next to each other. Like right now, you win one fight, you get two massive objectives. Is that how that works?
Well, I don't know. Sometimes like we see teams kind of prioritize one or the other when they're both up on the same side of the map, right?
I'm just worried to start the fight because I feel like a lot of teams get so clustered in those fights and it becomes very difficult to deal with like a invasion into your setup.
Yeah, I mean that's still a thing that teams are getting used to, and I'm not sure how long it's gonna take for teams to get used to. As a hold on a second.
Okay, Tarzan's in a lot of trouble. Goes with the Crescent Guard, blocking a ton of damage as the TPs come in. Cleanse is used by Hope. He also has burned his flash. Cube is pretty massive as a frontliner, and Shanks not really finding the damage, but guess who is? It's the double poke, big equalizer into the choke point by Cube. But Hope and Flandre actually doing massive damage from afar.
That's a lot of resources burned. Both sides, right? Both teleports from the top laners now used. AL feel like they are in a better position to start this one up, and I definitely agree with the Monkey. Definitely have the jump down. Cube is gone!
Shanks has just eliminated Cube. Man down. As anyone's legend with 5 members looking to get out, their health bars not helping them out too much. Kael gonna flash into the Atacon, but still making it out alive. Taeyoon, he flashes forward, tries to get the Mystic Shot, can't do it.
Nope, can't quite do that one. Unlucky Taeyoon. That's top.
Oh my God, we're flashing every TPs have come back. AL, they're using the tempo. They're using their gameplay here. Tarzan tries to get another win, becomes lightning, doesn't find it. More resets for AL. True shot barrage, but the shield from Kael is enough to block that damage.
Yeah, I think the windows closed. Mazel. WE had to find a good skirmish then and there. Shanks has completed his third item. He has a Void Staff on top of the Shadow Flame, on top of the Ludens. And we saw what he just did to Cube. Granted, of course, Cube, no magic resist, yada yada yada, but he just kind of deleted him, you know? Like
semantics.
Yeah. Well and truly. Is he still in the bush? Shanks is there. How much damage does he do to Karis?
I mean, he's on 3 items. I think he's like calculating. He's doing the math, running the numbers. Mason, what do they mean? He doesn't know yet because he didn't go in.
Yeah. Let's look at this replay. I want to talk about Black Ops after the replay because you just reminded me. Yeah, Tarzan.
Dude,
Shanks
he just gets obliterated.
Yeah. That's not even. He just dies. Just so much damage. That's before the base. And then
of course.
You know what? I can respect the prediction. I can respect the prediction.
All right, we look back into live.
Dragon's up.
Yeah, no more Black Ops. Monkey had started up the dragon. The dragon is almost reset. Look at this poke between Shanks, Hope, and Flandre. It's insane. The Magnet Storm, the Chains of Corruption, the Equalizer is down, but it's not doing anything. It's not equalizing. It's not setting them up. It's knocking them down as AL step forward with that Crescent Guard from Tarzan. Shanks still looking for the poke as best as possible, but WE still alive, still kicking. Both supports down.
Pretty sure I just watched Shanks W forward and Q Karis for about 450 HP. Just a Q. No other spell. Quite absurd. The dragon's being taken now.
Let's go,
by
WE.
Flandre. WE are throwing a gauntlet down, Mazel.
You have to do something.
Yeah, no, I agree. They might just
burn
about
it.
get it. It's a 50-50.
Tarzan's in the pit. It bursts divide, keeps them away. Now you have the GA reset. Do they lose them here, though? Looks like AL going to be willing to back away from this one. WE pull the cover over their eyes. But now AL going to force the Baron fight, too. This is bold.
Huh. I agree. I mean, Karis is dead. Karis is a lot of WE's damage. Think this is a bait to try and burn?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yep, the turn
Atacon
coming through. Equalizer's there.
Equalizer.
If AL die, they're real deaths. They're hoping to get the Atacon GAs as Flandre picking up a little bit of gold here, but he's going to die a real death. 700 gold going over to Monkey. They still have their wherewithal to move forward.
Yeah, great equalizer in, you know, technically open space, right, in that river. A little bit more choked because the terrain, of course. this specific Baron. Another teleport coming out from Karis. A monkey has been found out.
Oh, man. That's a little bit unfortunate. Does get sent packing back to the base. Okay. Monkey's going to be running straight back. Shot. It gets Kael. Now, AL do not have their main engage. The Baron has already been started up. AL know that. Maybe WE want to pull a fight.
Monkey's on the way back. Monkey's on the way back. If they can kind of just hang this around at 5-ish K, wait for Monkey and then look to burst down,
losing
but
his health bar. Shanks looking for the combo. Vampire's gone. Blink and you miss it. Now Cube in some trouble. Hope needs to get some damage down, but Tarzan is gone. Taeyoon pumping some damage right back. The poke not going to be enough. TP being initiated by Flandre. Oh, the chain! Dude, Shanks is on a master class of LeBlanc right now, and Flandre trying to get his name into the docket as Karis in trouble gets taken out too by Shanks, and he's just taking names and crossing them off his list like a hitman.
I think Tiger King might have to take some notes from a young blood. 9-0 right now. Shanks is
That's
on a
actually what.
Shanks is on a mission right now. Look, Xiaohu's LeBlanc is good normally, but yesterday, I mean, when was the last time that we even saw Xiaohu on LeBlanc? Prior to yesterday.
Probably back when it was AD.
Like probably back when it was AD, right? Like clearly Xiaohu is a little bit rusty on the AP variant.
This
as
is
hello.
not good.
Nope,
For AL at least. Yeah, he'll give his life.
Yeah, that's fine. That's not bad. But what is bad is WE have Baron. So once Kael goes down, he will eventually go down. This is a free push, and it seems like they're just going to elect to use the bottom lane here. Taeyoon's got the mid lane wave. They don't have TP, so they have to really pick their lane assignments well here, WE. But the waves are synced up enough that this is going to be quite awkward for AL to defend. They're probably going to have to pick a lane. Seems like they're going to try and crowd around mid, but there's 3 against 1/2. So that's mid-tier 2 down, and the wave just out so they can go to the side lane, but Shanks!
Oh, he missed one chain. That might have been the difference maker there. As his Banshees will come clutch, giving away some of that damage from Karis, but Shanks is on one right now. I think he's 9-0. As Taeyoon, he still has flash, but being engaged on now as Tarzan tries to look for him. Monkey does get away from the piercing arrow of Hope, and AL will defend their mid lane.
Still a pretty decent play here for WE. Break the mid tier 2. They would love to get a side lane tier 2 down. Not going to find it this time out. And Mazel, we were talking about expectations. First versus second. Second. W wish. Fourth. And right now, maybe AL are a little bit asleep at the wheel. Maybe there's things going on, but WE are giving them a fight, right? No matter
There's
no matter
4
what narrative.
people asleep in the car, and there's 1 person that's wide awake driving.
You know, like
Shanks is the responsible one here.
yeah, there is no child asking, "Are we there yet?" It's just Shanks driving to destination. As Karis would have his base interrupted. Hope, however.
Oh, Hope's in trouble. He doesn't have flash. He will end up having to burn that Chains of Corruption there to stop Monkey. Meanwhile, on the side, Vampire took a little bit of an overzealous engage, but has the rest of his team right behind him. Here's some pings to move back over here by WE. But like you were saying, I mean, before the memes aside, it is impressive to see WE fight back into this one. They were consistently down like 4,000 gold in the early game, early on, too. And the fact that AL has maybe fallen asleep at that wheel a little bit feels good for WE. Maybe the monkey change, the kind of playing towards this guy a little bit more is looking better for them.
Yeah, it definitely is. Monkey's aggression has certainly made an impact on how AL have been able to play this game time and time again. Has found his way on Hope. And it's just his willingness to
Chains of Corruption.
Do stuff like this, but this might be a bit too much.
He's got 3 stacks of the Blight on him. Oh, it's not just enough. He doesn't have Piercing Arrow just yet. Monkey makes it out alive, and that's been multiple escapes now with not a lot of help that Monkey has been able to pull off.
Yeah, definitely is. I mean, I will say, AL, as we dive deeper into this game, the item completions continue to come through, and their champions get more and more relevant. Ezreal has that Bloodthirster going towards a Shojin, I want to say. And then Zonya's also completed for Karis, so maybe some shuffle plays on the cards. And Cube has a death cap. So WE, they can dish out some serious damage here onto what is effectively a tankless AL, right? You have Kael, sure. But otherwise, Flandre's gone this kind of mixture of the tank / bruiser build.
He does have a lot of health. He's almost on like 5,000 now.
5k almost.
Just still wild. Again, can't take away the tank from Flandre. He'll find a way.
He will find a way. Shanks.
Oh, Shanks? Monkey wants that fight 10 times out of 10 there. Not going to be able to find it. The Sun Disc does go down. Kael goes in with the engage. The Magnet Storm has already been popped. Tarzan gets pushed away. Chains of Corruption connects. Piercing Arrow going to get goldened out of by Karis. But now he's left himself out for Bear. Crescent Guard goes through. Tarzan is starting to lead from the front. And there's that commanding charge. Kael comes up with the kill. And that is 10-0 for Shanks in this game. Dragon coming up, and that's Soul for AL.
Yeah, Karis there, he's afraid of the blight stack damage, right? It's so deep into the game now. You get hit by that 3-stack blight Varus. If he's got the W proc as well, it's gonna do so much damage, but in going golden, he effectively signs his own death warrant guaranteed as Cube.
Okay.
Good for timed flash.
Yeah, at least. They do lose the turret because of that, and the dragon as well. Chemtech Dragon going to be very nice for this comp. Maybe Taeyoon looks for the ulti. We're getting the highlight. Okay, last night we had some crazy objective steals. Not going to get that tonight.
I hope Shun found the smite key.
I hope so too, man. It was in the bottom of the barrel he was digging into. Just couldn't find it.
I was fine. I was fine with the Jinx rocket steal. Those happen
I was totally fine with that. The Winds of War, though, man. The Winds of War. No way, bro. No way. It's crazy. Anyway, we're going to take a look back at this little initiation of a fight. Kael was on vision going into that bush, but he just goes for the all-in here.
Yeah. Can't say I'm sold. Carrot. Huh. Alright, well, yeah, like we said, Sonya's is the blight stacks. Issue is, he puts himself in place to then be locked up by other members, right? After already having blown. It's just not good. It's not
double-edged sword of Zanya's.
Yep. It's like buying. It's completely random, but it's like buying Zonya's against Caitlyn, you know?
You're just waiting to get trapped.
Go to stasis, you're waiting to get trapped. It's just like, well, why did I buy this item in the first place?
So we're positioning around mid now, at least. Yep. Dragon Soul secured for AL. WE looking a little bit lost in what direction they want to take here. Multiple spell shields going to be popped off the AL members. WE just trying to use some of this team-style composition that they have to bolster themselves.
Time being, just grouping around this mid lane. Cube does have TP, but you can tell not even really willing to veer off to a side lane. Look for a bit of pressure elsewhere. Monkey, however, looking for plenty of pressure. He's on the side here. Last cone.
Oh,
wow.
Monkey just says, I'm done waiting. I want to go in and fight, and he is. Kael is getting a little bit low because of it. Big equalizer. They get the engage from Vampire. Vampire's on the back line. Monkey's already gone, though. Hope has taken him down. AL are waiting to shut the trap jaws on WE. They've got them surrounded. They smell blood in the water, and now they're going to mid lane.
Just feels like Monkey got blown up there, and I'm not even really sure who dealt that much damage, because mind you, he's got his ult procced, he's got a Kainic Rooken and Merc Treads, so I guess that damage had to have come from Hope, Tarzan, and Flandre. Either way, Shanks is waiting in the wings here. He wants Cube, he's got Kael in support, and I think Cube with no flash.
Oh my god, what? That was disgusting. I think I threw up in my mouth a little bit. Did you, like, even in the Zanyas, the chunk of health came off, and that was despicable.
Someone clip it and get that screenshot.
Well, so we had this conversation of expectations, and I feel like we're back to the beginning, square one here.
Yeah, I think so. Poor monkey. Poor monkey.
Dude,
Just trying to make
gets
something happen.
blown up, man.
Equalizer was good too. It was maybe the second or third good equalizer we've seen out of Cube this game. 40 minutes doesn't feel like it. Doesn't feel like it, weirdly. But AL are taking their time, and they did get that pushback from WE, lost that Baron. Has made things a little bit tumultuous, more so than they'd probably like.
Shanks finally bought the Magi.
Yeah, that he did. Finally invested.
See how many more kills he gets, but I mean, this is a record performance, it feels like, for Shanks to open up this best of 5. A series where we talked about him so much as, you know, kind of one of the new constant faces for AL, but also an old face for WE, coming up through their system and now turning that weaponized strength right back towards them. We'll see them move down in this mid lane and bot lane. And Shanks is hovering over Karis there. Flandre moving in to try to get the turret. He's very tanky there, taking up so much. Taeyoon going to have to use that cleanse. Tries to get out with that arcane shift. They've already lost their turret, though. Inhib laid open as Equalizer comes over onto the wave to try to clear that one a little bit more. Taeyoon taking massive poke damage, and Shanks looking to come finish it, but Tarzan goes in. He's got GA, so he can play extremely liberally here, as Monkey was looking for the counter angle here.
Looking for it. Couldn't quite find it. Taeyoon now summoner spellless. He's going to feel a little bit bad, but Hope having blown his. It's not the worst in the world. You know, you can find the angle now, Vampire. You've been getting caught out a fair bit. Aragon's favorite player, of course. Not sure why. Not sure.
He renounced him, though, I think on Twitter. I'm pretty sure he had renounced him.
Look, you can renounce him all you want. We saw all of the posts.
You pick a player like that, you go so ham, you have to stick with him, even if you say you don't.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not like picking a big
You think
player,
I dropped Shun just
player.
because of one of the worst juggle performances last? No, bro. Self-burn. Let's go. Anyways, getting set up here around this Elder Dragon in about 25 seconds. The fact that we've even gotten to an Elder Dragon is pretty impressive for WE's sake of things. But now, with the gold lead bearing on 8,000, AL just need to put a couple nails in the coffin here. Maybe the first one built up for Taeyoon.
Maybe. Maybe not. Shanks has found the chain onto Vampire.
Maybe it's Vampire.
It's good chunk
Somebody's got a coffin. It's waiting for him, all right? I don't know who it is. Somebody.
I mean, it's just good pressure. The vision toggle really lets you know the hole that WE are in right now in terms of pressure. One singular face check can end this game at this point in time. Monkey, that was an audacious leap
I think
strike.
that's bold. Yeah.
Thankfully for him, there was no audacious charge. Hopes.
Oh, Monkey. Oh, he gets caught in the Magnet Storm. We'll end up having to get his way out of that one with the flash. Equalizer also burned. So no more big choke point plays right now for WE. And they see that the Elder Dragon has been started. But Shanks and Kael, they stopped the back here of Monkey. So there could not be a contest if he wants to back. It looks like he's going to go a weird little angle here.
He's making
Can't
his way.
tell if he wants to back or what.
He can maybe do chickens. I think he wants chickens. He's going to smite as well.
He's on vision.
Really, really quick. Needs the health. But, I mean, now he's away from the rest of his team and Shanks is fishing. So
yeah, they know he's around somewhere. The Elder getting low. Monkey has to make a move. Shanks just going to blow him out of the water here. It's like Battleship, but all you can see is the entire enemy side of things. The chain will be the chain wrapped around WE's neck in this game number 1 as the Elder Dragon soars on the backs of anyone's legend. WE have nothing but fear and cowardice in their hearts as they try to run, but the fire is too damn hot. Taeyoon's going down. One more Emperor stand, but the Emperor will be dethroned, and anyone's legend will look to take game 1.
Wasn't quite how we expected it to go, but I think the destination, all the same. Shanks drags the rest of AL kicking and screening to a game 1 victory. 12-05.
12-0.
12-05.
What a monster.
Not a bad shift for the opening game of the night. And WE going to be left thinking what they could have done better that game, right? Bringing it to a 45-minute game
sure.
against AL. There's a lot of room for review there, and I wonder just where their heads will be at moving into a game 2.
Yeah.
Because AL, this wasn't the best looking AL we've seen all so far, man. Like, you know, definitely a little bit overconfident, I would argue and say, right? I think that's a very fair assessment of their performance in that game 1, and it opened up the window for WE to creep in a couple of times in that game and really make things awkward, right? And keep us guessing if W could close out.
I think they just kind of took their foot off the gas in a couple situations in that game and maybe made it a little bit more difficult for them. Still having a lot of control anytime they did put their foot on the gas. But it was nice to see some signs of life from Monkey and from Team WE. But this was kind of that bar we wanted to see from AL. How dominant can you be in your last series and your tying up of the group itself? And I'll say, like I said in the game, maybe 4 people asleep and 1 person driving. That person driving is pretty damn good at it. As Shanks, the legend of WE, the guy that came up through their system for over 3.5 years, just destroys them on LeBlanc in game number 1, going 12-0. I mean, he has to earn MVP. He has to earn a lot of respect from this game, even if it is against WE. These are kinds of performance that we've been seeing from Shanks in a lot of their best ofs.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to say. You guys saw what we saw, right? Like, that was a bloody good game.
He was snapping his finger and people were dying.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was just, he just started, it was the triple kill at that grub fight, right? Where I think it like got called out as a double in the announcer specifically, but he got 1 kill and then like 2 after.
Yeah, it was the long.
It was like the single
distance.
double, yeah. Because he got those kills early on and it put him at that Luden so early, it felt like he utilized that pressure so well from that point on. And again, WE, we spoke about how their side laning was never really going to be able to match Jace and LeBlanc, right? That was going to always be an issue. We said, well, hey, maybe the team fights will work out. And I mean, they kind of were a little bit-ish, right? But
True.
Again, the individual pieces of W was still, or rather for AL, was still too strong. And no matter how much aggression Monkey was willing to put down on the table, no matter what weird angles Vampire and him together were able to find, they weren't really able to get all of the pieces together how they wanted them. And AL, again, the response is strong enough.
I was really proud at how reserved Tarzan was playing as well. Like, knowing that in a lot of the situations, Monkey had the better of him if he just went into a straight up fight. But there was a lot of weird angles that Tarzan was taking, and just knowing when to jump forward with that audacious charge at the right moments, right? Like, especially that mid lane play where they were able to get them caught on the back end of that fight. I think there's a lot of things where you're able to tee up the combination of Tarzan and Shanks, which I'm just going to be outright real. I thought out of all the partners that Tarzan has been with, all the legendary names that Tarzan has been paired with over these last few years, I don't think I would have ever said that Shanks is the one that makes him unlocked, but my God, it's looking damn good between these two guys.
Bold call, Mazel. Bold call, and I'm going to hold you
out
to
of
that.
Everybody? Are you kidding me? Out of Doinby, out of, like, there's just no way. Xiaohu, like, you think any of these Scout, like...
Hey, look, you said it, not me, okay? All right. I've seen some incredible heights from Tarzan. If some mid-lane... Hey, if that's the hill you wanna stand on, you go ahead and do that, brother. I'll let you do it. As
plant my flag.
Game 1 highlights. Yeah, it's probably gonna be a Shanks highlight reel. Actually, I have a sneaking suspicion. But look, I think a lot of happy things to talk about for W despite the result, and you know, the journey probably feels quite sad, having given the fact that they actually had a fair amount of agency in this game to change things for the better. But I think those are also the games when you're a struggling team where it's like, we can see that things have improved. Now we know that we can improve. It's just, can we do it in the space of this series to at the very least make it awkward for AL, knowing the likelihood is bottom 2 is certainly looming for this WE lineup.
Cleaning this series up is actually pretty important for AL. Nobody knows about the next stage in the playoffs, first seed has access to the double elim, where they will be starting in the upper bracket, where the second seed of each group will be in the lower bracket with no double elimination. So there's a lot riding on this to try to clean up this group, especially in a 3-0 fashion, at least in their series wins. But that's where I want to turn the table over to WE. I mean, it has to be talked about. Monkey looked pretty damn good in some of those moments. I don't think he was getting as much synergy with the team that maybe AL was with theirs, but I would like to see a little bit more flexibility given to him, because I think if he's given the resources, we can maybe see a bit of a difference in game 2.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that he was willing to go a direct jungle counter pick, right? It's not something that always gets a lot of value, but I feel like we could see the potential of it in this game, right? Especially in the earlier stages, which is, again, where when you pick Jax, it's all about kind of the one-item spike, and it's about the early game where Xin usually thrives. Being able to kind of just entirely negate the 3 Talon strike, the 3 auto knock-up is very, very valuable. So I wonder if that's going to be the case. We spoke a lot about how R5 for AL generally is game-breaking picks. Maybe for WE, you know, jungle counter pick is their R5 for this series, right? No matter whether or not it's actually R5 directly, we have to wait and see. But maybe that's the strat, right? Tarzan picks a champion. Yeah. We just pick the counter, the jungle counter, and we just try and play off that.
Do we feel like Kael made up for his 1v1 performance? Do we feel like we made up for the Alistar? How we feel about that one?
Next question, man. Next question.
I think he did good. I think he did good.
I don't think he did well enough, but I think they probably wanted red side anyway. If I had to wager a guess, I'm not throwing.
You're telling me he went